Welcome to another episode of your daily database insight. And we've talked about system databases, and therefore it means any other database you're going to see on your SQL Server instance is going to be a user database. One quick summary of what a database is in SQL Server: it is made up of a collection of tables, uh, and basically it's made up of collection of objects, which could be tables, stored procedures, um, and these tables store some structured or set of structured data, and the tables contains a collection of record sets or rows. These record sets or rows are going to be having columns in them, and these columns sometimes are called attributes. And this comprises of what a relational database really is. Now, from what we've been seeing here, we just created a dummy database called PeopleSoft. It's always going to be, like I said, it's a collection of tables which have some data in them. So, but in this case, in this case, you can see here we don't have any tables and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate here real quick how to restore a database, and then we will be able to see some tables on a database here real quick. So let's look at AdventureWorks database. Now I'll go ahead and restore this one. If I'm looking at this section, this is going to show me the files section, and you can see that the files are going to show where our specific data files are going to be going. So in a database, we have data files. We have the uh, MDF or the master data files and the log data file. In our case, you can see that this is going to be restored from the source. Looks like it was coming from a specific path, but once it gets restored on our target, it's going to be restored on this specific path identified here. We have some options here. These options are here to define how we would like to restore. If this database already existed, let's say we wanted to restore it as PeopleSoft database, then we would be trying to override it. If we wanted to leave it in recovery, in any type of recovery state, whether it's a no recovering state or on a standby state, then we could specify that. But we'll get into more of that at a later time. So let me just restore this database for now. And there we have it. So we have this database here. This database is AdventureWorks. This is a database that ships from Microsoft. It's gonna have tables. Now let me expand this so that you can see. We have multiple tables here. It's gonna have views. Yep, there you have it. It's gonna have some, I believe, some synonyms. Well, we don't have that. We can walk through that. But it's gonna have some stored procedures. I believe it has some functions. Let's see, some Scala functions are there. Some table value functions are there. I believe it has some types. Let's see, user defined types. Well, we don't have some there, so we'll talk about that. Let's see if it has some sequences. We do not have that, so we'll talk about that as well. If you look at the security, it has some users, some roles. I believe it's gonna have, no, we can, these are default database roles, so we will probably create some user defined roles. It's gonna have some schemas. You can see person, production, purchasing. Again, we'll talk about all that good stuff. And so that is a database for you. Now in SQL Server, you have this function sp_help_db. If you execute this function, it's going to list for you all the databases that you need to see. Now the databases in this case we're going to be seeing, we have AdventureWorks, and we have the rest of these other databases. You'll see the database size, you'll see who owns these databases. It's going to show you the database ID. You'll see the compatibility level. You can tell from when we restored AdventureWorks that it came from a compatibility level of 150. That is SQL Server 2019. Currently, we're running SQL Server 25, and it's easy to switch that compatibility level. You can just right click it and go to its properties, and we can go to the options section, and we can switch this compatibility level to where we want it to be. Again, you can see we have here collations, recovery models, and compatibility level. I mean, collation, we'll talk about that actually next. Recovery model, this defines basically the different types of recovery models, which helps with determining how you manage your disaster recovery. We'll get to this. I mean, we have full, bulk, logged, simple. We'll get to that as well. Explain that in detail. But I'll switch that to, you know what, I'll just change it there. So if I run this again, that didn't change it. I can write a script to do that. Alter database, AdventureWorks, set compatibility. $170. 170. So let's run that, and if we check it now it's back, it's at 170. But if we just wanted to narrow down to AdventureWorks, then we can just execute the stored procedure and pass the value AdventureWorks, and now we can see exactly what we want to see on AdventureWorks. Now it's going to give us more information. We have the data file location, log file location. The data file is in the primary file group, and it has an unlimited max size. It is having that specified size in terms of its growth units, and of course we're able to tell here that there are certain things about a database that are very critical. Like for instance, if you want to define the default locations of where a database is placed, then you would need to go to the instance properties, come to the database settings section, and here is where you define by default where your database log and data file log are always going to be placed whenever you restore your database. So yeah, so that is an introduction of what a database really is, and we've actually looked at how to restore a database backup, and of course gone through the basic things of just identifying what this database is all about. If you need more information about databases, then you must reach out on the comment section, and if you know anybody who is struggling with understanding what a database is in SQL Server, you must show them this video. Thank you and have a good day.